Unknown Thought is made possible through the generosity of sponsors who care about people. IC Savings Bank, Ready Honda, and Corey's Clothiers. You know, just because it's TV about Judaism and ideas, it doesn't mean it can't be fun. I brought a friend on today, and I hope to have a good time with my friend Mitch Shore. I know I've been your little brother for a very long time. We're 10 years apart, and you've taken me under your wing sort of when I was looking for a mentor about how to live in a world that is full of ideas and creative, and how to make sense of the challenges of being an existentially crisis human being at the same time wandering and exploring. It would be fair to say that you were my teacher for literature.
I would say yes.
Yes. I came from a world where literature was very internalized, and you exposed me to some of the great literary classics. Maybe you could tell me now what you were thinking.
Oh, Yossi. Yossi, you are my most intrepid friend. Yossi fixed bicycles. Yossi had his own restaurant. Yossi, I couldn't keep up with you. You moved so fast. Literature was a way of slowing you down a little bit. You were like a hurtling meteorite in the world. I wanted you to feel what I felt, like that sympathetic voice, that understanding in the world out there that there was somebody who could make sense of that desire you had to eat the whole world with 2 bites. You know?
What fascinated me most was, as I look back on it, I'm grateful. I know a large segment of your family, particularly both your parents of blessed memory. And I recognize that the way you communicated best was what I found in the book that you gave me. You were telling me something. There was always some message. And it wasn't a message about me, it was a message about what you've come to understand. And your books changed as time went on. There was only one book you ever gave me I didn't finish, and that was Sister Carrie.
Okay.
You knew that I wouldn't finish
Theodore
it.
Treisler.
Yeah, it was too dry for me. I read it in Israel, and I couldn't get through it. But you know, by communicating to me your innermost thoughts, and knowing that someone out there who was intrepid enough would pick up on, you know, the sub-audible signals you were sending, you must have known that I would be influenced by what you, I mean, I could never forget the influence The Invisible Man had on me.
Oh, wow.
Or, you know, Winesburg, Ohio, or the idea of the grotesque. But I have a conversation I need to have with you about how you function in an audible world, so the world of deep, deep creativity in which you're constantly audible. And at the same time, you have this deep sentimentality towards Judaism and towards family and towards values and community. And I think sometimes you find there to be a conflict or a struggle. And I'm fascinated by the way you've developed a family which is both creative and rooted deeply in Yiddishkeit. I find that amazing. How have you managed that?
It's a great question, but I don't know. I think nobody manages it. We're all struggling. It helps to have a sister who's a psychiatrist, because she sometimes gives me some advice. She explained to me that there's a concept that she has, that there is no there. Like, there is no getting there. And we're all like on a journey, searching. It's a mission. It's sort of like building a website. You say it's a journey without a destination. You know, you have to enjoy the journey. So the question is, as a Jew, or if I was born as a Christian or a Muslim, you're born into life. It's so strange. You're born with an identity, and then you have to find out a little bit about that identity and choose whether it's yours, like authentically. I remember reading Peter L. Berger's Invitation to Sociology. He said about playing roles. Like, a policeman thinks that he's strength, and a lawyer thinks he's justice, and you know, people get caught up in their roles. And I find that even the idea of being a religious Jew or a non-religious Jew is kind of specious anyways, because you meet somebody who's not religious, quote unquote, and he's so pious and he's so sweet and he's working so hard for so many causes, and you meet somebody who's religious and he just cheated on his taxes or did something terrible. Or, I mean, we're all kind of on Jacob's ladder, moving up and down. The question is more, are you on the ladder honestly going up or are you a ladder going down? You were raised in the most difficult of worlds, having a father who was very religious and trying to find your way in that world. And sharing literature with you was just a way to say that, yeah, Yossi, the world is mad as a hatter, but look, they're all struggling. Look at all these crazy people that you can share with, and you know.
I want to just talk about your creative side, that in terms of your employment. I still remember you working furiously on your typewriter, then going to that old little Mac that you had, and eventually now running a successful corporation. What gives you the thrill these days?
You know what? That's a great question, because somebody once asked me that every 5 years, sort of like a Soviet prime minister in the old days, what's your 5-year plan? Or, you know, everything changes. Look, the whole world's changed. As you get older, what made me happy at 25 doesn't make me happy at 40, although I'm not 40.
You're not 40.
Yet. I'm 39 forever. But the issue is you have to find out what makes you happy again. And I found out this year was a confusing year because my father had passed away, and now I didn't have a father or a mother, and who do you call, and all that type of thing. And you're starting, I thought for the first time, I'm the old person now. I'm the, you know, I'm going to be the grandparent, the whatever soon or whatever. I'm the old person, and am I ready to be that? Because I'm perpetually the baby like you are when you're, you know, young at heart, and, you know, even though you're a rabbi, you're still a kid. And that's probably why people love you, because
that's why I can love them back.
There's nothing more redeeming than a child like view of the world.
You had to tell them. Thank you. Appreciate that. I want to tell you something that I learned from your parents that I feel is worth sharing, and it's about liver. If I understand correctly, your father detested liver.
Yes, and my mother spent her whole life trying to cook it in a way that he would eat it.
And he never enjoyed it?
No.
And did he ever complain?
No, he ate it every single time she made it. It was one of the things, and when my mother died, my father goes, geez, I hated liver. I said, how'd you do it, Dad? He said, it made your mother happy. I think that's a different generation. I don't know if we could do it in this generation.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's in every generation. It's just, it takes unique people to do that. It's something that people need to know and learn and understand, that it is possible to compromise even when it's personal. It's critical. I want to just share something with you. A friend of mine told me recently that her mother always says that the moment of absolute certainty never comes. And I do want to share with you a certainty, and we can perhaps talk about the outcome of it. We met when you were at Aish Torah, and I was sort of searching for my own Jewish, dimension. And I am absolutely certain that were it not for literature, I would never be able to understand the Torah in its multifaceted, multidimensional, multi-layered form. It would be impossible for me to see it as anything other than a book that was the worst edited book in history. You must have come across, I know that you love Torah as much as I do.
But you know what? I look at Torah as stories. I still look at it as great literature. And I love the arguments of the rabbis. Judaism is like no other religion. Well, maybe, I don't know every religion, but
like none other that you've tried.
We have that joke, 2 Jews, 3 opinions.
Right.
The idea, I cannot even explain to people that we prize the question more than the answer. Everybody wants to be right. In Judaism, there's no right answer, and we prize the question. Although in this generation, I find that there's so much arrogance. Like people are walking around like they have the answer. And I don't even understand where that comes from.
You know what I would say to you? I don't know, but I love your story. And you are a great success story, and you've inspired me, and I'm very grateful that you're here today.
Thank you very much. My little brother.
Yeah, my big brother.